Mathew Perry is finally opening up about his personal life. The actor is releasing a memoir where he lets us into his world, the one with the hit TV show, Beautiful Women, and addiction. At one point, the darker side of celebrity life began to catch up with him, and Perry was soon fighting for his life. When Friends started taping the one after the Super Bowl for their second season, the writers felt they needed to pull celebrity names into the episode. "He called me up, out of the blue," Julia Roberts said about Mathew. This was during a 1996 interview on The Late Show with David Letterman. Roberts starred in the episode as Susie Moss, a school friend of Chandler Bing.
How come all I can think about is putting that ice in my mouth and licking you all over?
Chandler and Susie reconnected on a movie set, and she later sought revenge for his prank that landed her the nickname Susie Underpants. The double-length episode became iconic for fans of the sitcom. At the time, Roberts was on her rise to fame. Having starred in Pretty Woman, Mystic Pizza, and Steel Magnolias, Julia was gaining recognition as a talented actress in the film industry. The showrunners of Friends said that casting her for that role was one of the biggest triumphs of the episode. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the episode raked in 52.9 million viewers, making it the highest-rated Super Bowl lead-out show to this day. It's also the highest-rated Friends episode, including the 2004 series finale. However, the Notting Hill star didn't immediately agree to be in the show. In fact, the way Roberts ended up being on the show was not only cute and funny, but it was the start of a romance between her and Perry. Do you know the story of how we got her? Mathew asked her to be on the show. She wrote back to him, "Write me a paper on quantum physics and I'll do it," executive producer Kevin Bright told The Hollywood Reporter magazine. Mathew wrote the paper on quantum physics and faxed it over to Julia the very next day. So began an exchange of flirty fax messages between the two actors. The Friends alum managed to use his wit to charm the actress, and soon enough, Robert started falling for him. Who would have ever thought that sending faxes could be so romantic? Perry and Roberts' courtship was adorable enough to gather a fan base. Recollecting the budding romance between the two stars, staff writer Alexa Junger said that even the writer's room tried to help bring the two together. She was giving him these questionnaires like, "Why should I go out with you?" And everyone in the writer's room helped him explain to her why, Junger recalled, adding that they were on Team Mathew. According to the sitcom's co-writer, Jeff Astroff, the pair had so much chemistry on set that they ended up dating shortly after filming. Astroff once mentioned a moment that happened with Roberts during the taping of the episode. While they stood on the sidelines, the actress kept gushing over how funny Chandler was. That may have been the moment Julia fell for Mathew. The actress once talked to David Letterman about how she had been dating this Mathew Perry guy. She and the talk show host even discussed the couple's first date. Roberts said, "I was very nervous because he's awfully clever and funny and handsome." Mathew and Julia dated for 1 year, around the same time that the Friends episode they made together aired. Fans couldn't help but notice their chemistry on screen. Recently, in a video that went around on the internet, the 53-year-old was asked about his relationship with the actress. The comedian expressed why the relationship didn't work in true Chandler style. The video showed a fan asking, "There was a lot of rumors and speculation about Mathew Perry's relationship with Julia Roberts. Could you expand on that?" In response, Mathew used Chandler's sarcasm by saying, "Get out," making everyone in the room laugh. Laughing through his comment himself, Perry explained that he and Roberts were both very busy with their careers and hardly had time to spend together. "It's like the busiest guy in the world trying to go out with the busiest girl in the world, and it just didn't work. But we are friends and get along really well." After their breakup in '96, the two went on to see other people. The Eat, Pray, Love star was Mathew's first high-profile relationship. Julia found her forever with cinematographer Danny Moder. The couple hit it off after meeting on the set of The Mexican in 2000. They are still together and share 3 children. The Lovebirds got married in 2002 and recently celebrated their 20th anniversary. During the course of their 1-year relationship, Perry and Roberts kept their love life very private. Till now, they haven't shared any details about what it was like being smitten with each other. However, there had been some speculation that Roberts was nervous about what the 17 Again lead would reveal about their relationship in his memoir. People magazine describes the book as a heartbreaking detail of the incredible highs and shattering lows that the 53-year-old experienced in his career. The memoir comes out on November 1st, 2022. We can't wait. While he does mention his relationships and the projects he's worked on, Mathew used his platform mainly to discuss addiction and substance abuse. In the memoir, the actor talks about his near-death experience brought on by alcohol, OxyContin, and Vicodin addictions.
I'm a drug addict. I'm a person that if I have a drink, I can't stop.
On the memoir's release, Perry explained in an interview with People, "I wanted to share when I was safe from going into the dark side of everything again." The Emmy-nominated actor wanted his story to help people, and so he chose to wait until he was pretty safely sober to start writing everything down. While it's uncertain how long Mathew Perry has been sober, the actor is candid about his struggle with addiction in this memoir. He speaks about going to rehab 15 times and how his addiction started with alcohol when he was 29 years old and taping Friends. The star opened up about how there had been a time when he was taking up to 55 Vicodin a day. The memoir highlights how grateful Perry is for being alive. When the actor was 49 years old, he had spent weeks fighting for his life after his colon burst from opioid overuse. He spent 2 weeks in a coma and 5 months in the hospital and had to use a colostomy bag for 9 months. When he was first admitted to the hospital, the doctors told my family that I had a 2% chance to live, the actor recalls. Mathew was put on an ECMO machine to help his heart and lungs to function. And that's called a Hail Mary. No one survives that, he said. "What I'm most surprised with is my resilience," he said to People magazine. "The way that I can bounce back from all of this torture and awfulness. Wanting to tell the story, even though it's a little scary to tell all your secrets in a book, I didn't leave anything out." Perry went on to date several other women after Julia Roberts, including Chandler Bing's longtime crush, Yasmine Bleeth. He and the Baywatch babe only dated for a few months. The Sun tabloid labeled the author's love life as unlucky because his relationships didn't last. Speaking of his unlucky love life, the New York Post says Mathew is still looking for love. He wants to be a father and a husband.
Worst comes to worst, I'll be your boyfriend. Yeah, right.
His battle with addiction bled into his romantic life and caused him to have anxieties about his relationships. Following his romance with Yasmine Bleeth, Perry dated his 3 to Tango co-star Neve Campbell. They had a fling while filming, but by the time the movie hit the big screen in 1998, the couple had called it quits. In 2002, Perry dated the actress Maeve Quinlan. Things got pretty serious between him and the Bold and the Beautiful star. However, the relationship ended after 1 year. A year later, Perry dated Rachel Dunn. The couple had a 14-year age gap, but managed to make their relationship work for 2 years. They ended their love story in 2005. Not long after things ended with Rachel, Mathew started dating Mean Girls star Lizzie Kaplan. The couple was together for 6 years. They did their best to keep their relationship out of the spotlight, but sadly, Kaplan and Perry quietly split in 2012.
I have serious problems when it comes to women. I have issues with commitment, intimacy.
The Friends star was briefly engaged to literary manager Molly Hurwitz before the two called it off in June 2021. "That was me afraid," Perry noted about ending his engagement in his profile for People. "That is what I manifest, something that's wrong with them, and then I break up with them." He elaborated that he knows there can't be a problem with every person he comes across. Perry knows that he is the common denominator in all the relationships ending. Although, the actor also mentioned that he was hesitant about his relationships because of previous experiences where he had been used for money and status. He said he's been burned a few times by women who wanted my money, not really caring about me. Now, Mathew Perry is looking for his soulmate, someone self-supporting who he can grow with. He is moving past his fear of love and is looking forward to finding someone he can expand his family with.